again. As many of us are going through some uncertain times all around the world, I would like to take some time out and discuss perfumes that I find to be comforting. And if you'd like, I'd be interested to hear what perfumes you find comforting. So let me know in the comments, what scents do you wear when you want to feel safe, when you want to feel comforted, or you want to be reminded of happier times? For me, when I think of comforting scents, there are three main scents that I think of. And the first one on my list is Bleue by Guerlain. This is one that is a very calming scent to me. It's powdery with hints of candied violets, a very interesting anise note throughout, and some slight vanilla. The version of Bleue that I have is a modern eau de toilette, and I've heard that it is simply a ghost in comparison to the vintage, in particular the eau de parfum, which I have never had my hands on, but I really hope to smell it in the future. But even though I haven't encountered the vintage, or even the modern eau de parfum, the eau de toilette of Bleue that I have is one that is a very soothing scent to me. After my father passed away, I had to go to the cemetery to arrange things for his burial, and I was really stressed from having to deal with both the trauma surrounding the events involved in his death and also then all of these official things that needed to take place. And interestingly, I chose to wear Bleue during these meetings at the cemetery that were a little bit stressful for me. And whenever I felt stressed and the powder scent of the perfume would meet my nose, I would sort of feel like I was in a warm hug. And I don't think very many others have this experience with the perfume. I, for the most part, hear people describe it as melancholy. But while I can maybe understand how some people may see it that way because of the cooler notes of the violets and the iris, for me the powder brings back memories of my grandmother, who used a lot of baby powder and powdery smelling things. And anise actually was something that my father used to use a lot in cooking, so perhaps it's just a combination of all of these things that make Bleue comforting to me. The second fragrance on my list is Habanita by Molinard. And Habanita, I have not smelled the new formulation. The reformulation isn't a total tear down and rebuild as some vintage or relaunch of vintage perfumes are, but they have added a few different ingredients in different notes, but have allegedly tried to keep it somewhat faithful to the original vision. I'm really curious about the modern. I have only experienced Habanita in a 1980s sample vial, and it reminds me so much of my grandmother. And again, she used a lot of powder and she loved vanilla, so the smells of the vanilla and the powder and Habanita, and then also there's something about it that reminds me a little bit of Shalimar, and I think it may be the orris note. There's also a very fleeting chocolatey gourmand sensation that I get with this version of Habanita. And again, I think it may be the orris in combination with the vanilla notes. So if you've ever smelled real orris, it's a very unique scent, and certain versions of it can, on the skin, have a little bit of like a dry chocolatey odor. And Habanita was originally used for scenting cigarettes and became a perfume. In comparison to their Bleue, Habanita is more warm. It has more warm notes, and it sort of makes me feel like I'm cuddled up in a cozy warm blanket. The last perfume on my list is L'eau de verre by Frederic Malle. I've only had a sample vial of this one as well. It's a little bit out of my budget currently, but maybe in the future I'll be able to get a bottle of it, or even maybe find something that smells a little bit similar. L'eau de verre has notes of honey and iris and reminds me of one of the best summers I have ever had. A very carefree summer when I reconnected with some old friends, and one of my friends had just returned from studying abroad for 6 months, and another friend was up visiting for the summer after moving to a different state. So we had picnics, we went to the beach, and we went shopping, antique shopping, and it was such a fun summer. And there was a particular soap that I was really obsessed with that summer, and it was called avocado soap. I got it from this little grocery shop. When I first smelled L'eau de verre, I couldn't place the fragrance. All I could think of was that summer. And it finally occurred to me why, and the connection I was making was with that soap. So that is one that just gives me a very happy nostalgia. It is one in a similar sense to their Bleue. I could see if someone found it to be melancholy, but I think the honey brings a certain warmth to it that may not necessarily give that impression. So those are 3 scents that I find to be comforting, scents that I wear when I want to feel safe, secure, or when I simply want to be reminded of happier times. But I'm curious what perfumes that all of you may spray when you feel the need to be comforted. Please let me know in the comments below, and if you'd like, share the memories that you have attached with these perfumes. I particularly like hearing people's emotions and memories that they have connected with perfume. That's all for this video. I do want to conclude by saying that even though these are uncertain times, I hope that wherever you are, you're able to have some sense of optimism, and I hope that things get better for you. And also, I want to remind all of us that no matter what happens, it's very important to try to be kind to one another. No matter how frightened we get or how upset we are, kindness and civility is very important. So my hope for you is that you'll be able to indulge in these comforting perfumes until this all passes, and I hope you all come out of it safe. Thank you for watching.